If you want to give Muay Thai fighters a big problem, develop your spinning back kick.
He clipped him behind the head. That's it.
Because Thai fighters, they stand very square. There's lots of body that you have the ability to attack, right? They're not bladed. This would be a harder person to spinning back kick. Okay, person comes at you like this. Okay, that spinning back kick is going to be very, very useful. When we're doing this, we need to make sure that we are not overcommitting and we're not showing too much. Like most techniques, the skinnier you make it, the harder it is to see coming. So I don't want my legs to be wide. I also don't want to take big, wide steps. I actually worked a little bit with Kung Lee, who had an amazing spinning back kick, although my coach said it was like a 1984 back kick. So he taught me a different one. He would do this. He would take his foot and he would step all the way over there like that in order to set it up. And he would just hide it with the hook, right? So he would go like 1, 2, and then on the 3, he would step like that and then turn, and then he had his back kick. I'm not saying that's wrong, but taking a big step like that is a lot easier to see than just turning on a dime, right? So what I like to do is I like to do this from a bladed stance, not like a kickboxing stance or a boxing stance, more bladed. And that's because it's a long range technique. I'm gonna do it from far away where the punches don't matter. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn my front heel and I point it directly at my target. Now, that heel is going to determine where the kick goes because my legs are going to go really close together. So wherever that heel goes, points at, okay, the other leg is going to go and go attack towards. I'm pointing the heel of my front leg. If you do it from here, it's going to be really hard because now it's almost a 180-degree pivot there. That's a lot. Maybe you have that flexibility. Okay, a lot of people I teach don't. I'm like this. Like I'm snowboarding, and then boom, 90-degree turn. When I do that, I stick my glute out, right? Like stick your butt out, point it at the person, okay? This is kind of like inverted guard, right? For you jiu-jitsu people. And while I do that, I also arch my back a little bit. That's gonna stretch, okay? Stretch that glute muscle because I wanna stretch the elastic and then snap the kick, okay? So boom. Okay, you can tell I'm leaning forward just a little bit. Okay, and then I spot my head, I look around, boom. Now when I spot, it's like just over my shoulder or just under my shoulder. If I do this, okay, this is gonna be very hard to throw a kick with your head way up there. On step 1 and step 2, I'm gonna start doing this a little bit. I'm gonna start leaning forward. Boom, leaning. Kind of backward actually, it's that way, but it is this action. Boom, boom. Okay, now I'm doing this very slowly, so I lost balance, but normally you shouldn't lose balance in that step. I want to make sure my thighs are squeezing together so that my legs will be close. I don't want to kick like that, okay, because like I said, my heel is going to aim at the target, right? So just so we can see this, I point my heel at the target. If I didn't point my heel at the target, okay, my kick is not going to go to the target. It's going to go over there. Okay, you see the people do this all the time. They go like this and then they kick and it's like that. If I point my heel at the target, boom. Hips pointed at the target, spot. Okay, I squeeze those thighs together. Now I don't even have to look at the target. Okay, I know if my heel is pointing at it and my legs are close together, that leg is going to hit it. Okay, I just use that aiming device, okay, put it in the crosshairs, then bang, it can go straight out. Okay, so again, I'm going front heel, front hip, and then head, second heel, and second hip. I now stick that part of my butt toward the bag. And now I'm gonna chamber and attack straight back. Okay, now, when I do this forward, you'll be able to really see the angle on my foot. The mistake that people make a lot of the time is that their toes are facing upwards. On my back kick, I don't want it to be like that. I don't want my toes up because the more up my toes are, the less my hip is gonna be on, okay? I wanna be able to extend, and that extension requires my toes to actually turn towards the ground. I'm getting a downward angle on my kick. Okay, so again, feet are bladed on a snowboard. Okay, I turn that front foot 90 degrees, stick the hip out, spot my target, point the heel, point the hip. Now, my whole posterior chain is facing towards that target, and now I chamber and go straight out. Boom. Okay, and you can see it's kind of like a donkey kick. My toes are like that, like a 45 down turn towards the ground. Bang, and now down, back. So from my stance, I'm going 1, 2, 3, down, back. Another huge mistake that I often see on the back kick is people will want to continue the circle. Do not continue the circle. Okay, so there's a couple fails here. I've seen people do this, boom, and then they're trying to do that to get back, okay? The momentum's all wrong. It's gonna feel very, very difficult. You'll likely end up off balance and you could pay for that. So that's one fail. Another fail is just spinning again, right? Boom, I hit it and then I go whoop, back. Now, this can work, and if you have huge success doing it, that's fine. But my theory is that if I have to lose my sight, my line of sight, in order to attack the kick, I would rather do that once than twice, right? So why do the second one? What's the purpose? If it doesn't have an actual purpose to it that is better, then what's the point in doing it? Just make another movement. What I was shown was on that back kick, 1, 2, bang. 3 is to go down, back, like that. And this could also look like a crossover. Walk out, well, it'll give you more space. Okay, boom, down, back. But regardless, I land in my second stance. I'm traditionally orthodox. Now I'm fighting as a southpaw. And look at how much distance I've created here. Now if I don't have attacks or defenses in this stance, I have the opportunity to spin back without like giving my back again. Why give your back twice when you can only give it once? Boom, boom, not so good. Okay, boom, down, back, and boom. Okay, and obviously hand placement is important. I'm more focused on what the legs are doing right now. Although during the kick, you're not super vulnerable for attack. As for like punches or kicks that could hit you, you're hiding your head. And this is something that I use actually sometimes is I hide my head similar to how I would in inverted guard. I make my back protect my head. I go here, here, bang. And now instead of coming back like this, I go back like that. So my hip is still protecting my head. My shoulder is still protecting my head. Much easier to hit me the higher up I get. But if I hide my head back here, it's kind of difficult to hit me. I don't suggest doing this, but Genki Sudo did it. So it does actually work. So again, here, and you can hide the footwork in your, hide this position in your footwork as well. Because I know a lot of you are like, oh, well, I don't want to go out there and just stand completely bladed all the time in order to get my back kick. You don't have to. I can easily hide that in my footwork, right? Like I'm here, this is more of a boxing stance, boom. And then now it's bladed. Boxing, bladed. Boxing, bladed. So whenever I want, I can get into that stance where I can back kick, bang, and I'm back, boom. And what I believe anyway, you should have everything both sides. So try to do that same thing on your second side as well. 1, 2, 3, and back. And then do them back and forth. So, making that spin a straight line. Don't do this. Don't do that. 1, 2, 3. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.